everyone. It's been a few days since I last posted on my YouTube channel. I am, as I've said before, this is my journey to lose weight and get back into the swing of things, and also like as a personal voyage for me to know where I began and where I'm going. Some exciting things have happened over the last few days since I last posted. One in particular is that I got major kudos at my new job, like from somebody, and that was wonderful because you never know how you're doing, and I've been doing my absolute best to be a team player and to expand my knowledge and to really work hard at this job. This job that I'm in right now is a title promotion for me in a lot of ways, but the job itself is not, you know, backbreaking. It's manageable. Just some things I don't know, and I don't know. I'm not really familiar with the culture yet at my organization, so getting those kudos was really really important for me, and it made my day, and it helped me out a lot. Like it helped me know that I am doing all the right things to get my career in motion. For so long, I had worked so hard at my previous job, and felt like no matter how hard I worked, it was completely ignored and it was completely overlooked, um, and never got the respect I thought I deserved from that. I didn't expect people to applaud every day when I came into work, but to acknowledge my ambition, to acknowledge my integrity, to acknowledge that I really wanted to work hard and do great things, was never ever really given to me. And in this new role, I've only been there a few months. I'm already getting that, and I'm very happy about that. Like I said, I still miss things from my old job. I miss the students, the most important thing. Some of the things that are going on um, with that is that you know I've been in a job. I was at a job for a long time, and when I left, it was hard to do, and so I'm still recovering from that. And I'm not uh, as much in students' lives as I used to be, even the ones I you know that used to work for me, and that's sad a little bit. But I also know that being here right now in this moment is important to me because I know that this is a stepping stone to something else, and I'm exploring those options right now. I just don't know where that's going to lead, but getting those kudos helps me feel like I'm in the right direction. What else is going on? Today was Outfest in Philadelphia. I went around and I did a stroll. I've been doing that stroll since I was about 22, 23 years old. It's a lot of tables. It's a lot more accepting now. Outfest. When I first went there, you had the blocks, the streets were blocked off, and you felt like you had, respect and everything of that nature, or you had a good time with your close friends, and it still is that. But the amount of people who are out now from when I first came out is incredible, and that's a great thing. I mean, it's so wonderful to see people identifying with their true selves and who they are, and actually being able to do that more easily now than when I was younger. Um, I saw a couple people that I was excited to see. I did go by myself, which is always a big hurdle for me. In those kind of gay group settings, as much as I feel okay at times with who I am, when I'm around other gay people, I do get that intimidation. And I think it's probably a body image issue ultimately. And also, like, a lot of them are very good looking. Gay men generally, and I don't mean this as like a gross, like, across the board statement, like, stereotype. But we as a culture, not me, but I'm saying we as a gay culture, value someone's features that are muscular and beautiful. And there's so many guys who are so good looking. I mean, you walk around and you're just like, oh my God. And I can't help but to look at the beauty of it. I mean, they are so good looking. And, you can't help but compare yourself to them. And so you look at them and then you think about yourself and then you think about where you are and what you're doing, and you get that intimidation that pops up, and you get awkward and you feel uncomfortable. And you know every year I go through this, and it's nothing new, and it's nothing that I haven't haven't had felt before or know that will ever really fully dissipate. But it's still hard to be there, and see it. Because sometimes when you go into those events, at least for me, I walk around, I'm like, maybe I'll meet a cute guy here. Maybe, it'll turn into something. Maybe you always have that hope out because there's so many people there. And so you're sort of like, oh my God, maybe my next love is here, I mean, or at least my next hookup, right? I mean, it's just like it could be there, It's kind of like that kind of moment where you are still naive, even though when I was in my 20s, I was a lot more naive and got hurt a lot more as a result. But in my late 30s, I'm realizing, like, that naivety is still there when it comes to these events. So when you go around and you see all this stuff and then you reflect, you're like, it's a little disheartening and a little bit of a letdown. That doesn't mean that for me that I would give up that or think that that's a horrible thing to go through. It's not. It's for me. It's just something that I have had to learn to accept, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not thrilled about it, but I have to accept it. And I kind of went through that crossroads a long time ago about accepting that. If I ever lose this weight, which I'm working really hard at, and get down to a goal weight that I will be okay with, I still know that I won't be one of those people that people can't help but to look at. I mean, that's just not going to be me. I mean, it's just not. I just have to accept. I've accepted that. I mean, I'd rather be happy within myself than have people applaud me for my exterior. So, I mean, that's just a philosophy, life lesson that I'm never ever not going to practice. So, and if I do become muscular by some granite nature, because I really don't like lifting and I really don't like all those things, then I don't know how it would be. It'd be very awkward, and I'm just not that person. I can't describe it any other way, and maybe someone else out there could help me describe it better. But that's how I feel, about that. And today was hard a little bit, not just because of that, because that, like I said, I've learned to deal with that. But I saw some people that I saw one that broke my heart. I was in love with this guy. Oh gosh, like we're going on 15 years ago, long time ago. I mean, we have not been in each other's lives for quite some time. I mean, but every time I see him, I always feel this sting. I always feel like, my God, we were so close and we had so much going on and we spent every waking moment together at times. And he really broke my heart, more than once. I mean, more than once. And I could not manage my emotions around him. And it was toxic for sure. So when I look at him, I really take a step back and I'm like, wow, look where I am now versus when I was then. Um, a lot of things have changed. I'm different. I'm sure he is definitely different. I mean, I don't think he's the same person. How can he? How can I expect him to be the same person when I'm not the same person? But when we see each other, unless we're like face to face and can't help it, we don't even say hello, and that's a little sad. But I think you know how I felt when that demise happened was this person needs to stay out of my life in any real capacity forever. And I know that's what needed to be done for my own health and safety because I was really so in love with this person, so in love. And now I look at him and I don't feel that way anymore, which is liberating. It's so liberating, but it's hard to imagine being back in that period of time and knowing that you were like you now I don't see the allure. I don't know what I was seeing before, but now I'm like, you know, and you know, I'm sure he looks at me and probably feels the same way, right? But I, it's weird. Like your moment in time is over. You moved on. More than once, I moved on. I mean, it's not like I, have not had other people to, you know, find this like not unrequited love, but like find this infatuation with, this connection with. I've found them in it over time, but it's just always when you're faced with your past, you for a moment are trapped in that bubble, and you're looking at it from a aerial view, right? So you're looking down on it, and in present day, and you're like, oh my god, like so much of my life at one point was involving this person, really just involving him, and that's no longer. And now we pretend we don't know each other. So that's a little like bittersweet, right? I mean, you're over them, but you're not fully, you know, acknowledging the impact that you had on each other. The other thing that happened was this time last year, um, one of my friends and I had had enough. We were friends for a very long time, and he, you know, I always cannot understand it. I stood by him. I was there for him. I was a good friend to him, and and I can't say he wasn't. He was a bad friend to me. He wasn't in some ways, but he really hurt me and did things in an almost calculating way. It was like a frenemy situation. Like if I stopped talking to a guy or stopped talking to someone, he would still keep them as friends or add them as friends. And there was a point where he had broken up with his boyfriend and he was with for 4 years. Now that's 4 years of them being together, 4 years of me hanging out with this guy, 4 years of growing a friendship with this person, and I feel like he felt that I was betraying him for continuing that relationship with his ex, and I felt like that was a little hypocritical, and I still do because I'm still friends with his ex, and I'm not going to change that. But after all those years of being friends with him and being the good friend that I was and being there for him, I would have thought that I mattered more, that he would have tried to reconcile our situation, but he didn't at all. I just stopped talking to him, and he did not pick up the phone to see what was going on with me or why I was mad. I was always initiating contact. I was always trying to make sure I saw him, and then I stopped, and he stopped, acknowledging me, and that hurt a lot because I really wanted him to reach out to me so we can try and reconcile it, because I was very frustrated with him, but I also felt that it was not my place to initiate that contact because I had said to him last year, if you're going out to Outfest, let me know, let's meet up. Oh yeah, I'll do it. And then I go out to Outfest and he's hanging out with all these people, and I'm like, I thought you were gonna call me, and he was like, oh, the day got away from me. And it was sort of like I got caught type of face and expression. Like I got caught, trying to pull one over on you and you caught me. And at that point, I had just been like, you know what? Like 2 weeks prior to that, I had opened up to him about some pain I was going through. I have a lot of unresolved issues sometimes, and sometimes they burst out to the surface. And when I met with him, I was very upset. I was very like, down and out. And I shared a lot of things with him, as my friend. And that trickled into him distancing himself from me and ultimately led to him not reaching out to me to hang out. And that, I feel, was the lead up to the betrayal that I had felt. I had tried to be dismissive of that. I tried to like let it go and let my feelings not get the best of me in that situation. But when he did that, I felt like, first of all, you didn't even acknowledge that I really had feelings. You didn't follow up to say, "Hey, how you been? Like, I know you confided in me the other day," because that's something I would do for my friends, and I have done for my friends over and over again, and my good friends, especially him. And you know, he didn't do that, and then he just dissed me at this Outfest last year, and I had that was the last straw, I guess, and that was a hard. So like seeing him today was hard because I acknowledged the mutual friend that we had that he was hanging out with, but I did not acknowledge him, and I never thought that we would not be friends, but now that he's kind of in his little world, I guess, where he doesn't have me in it, it doesn't matter to him the way I thought it mattered. So, um, onward and upward, I guess, just was not an easy thing to have happen today. Um, oh, and then I saw somebody from my old job today at Outfest, and I think that that was just sort of like the cherry on top of the miserable cake that I was experiencing because I had saw them all in succession. So I was like, oh, geez, So I saw him, I acknowledged him. I don't really particularly like this person, um, in the work environment. I don't feel like he was a very good worker. I felt like got away with a lot more. There was a lot of problems in the old department that I worked in, and you know, and now it's coming to light. There are you know publications that are coming out that are bringing those very things that I was frustrated about coming to light. So I'm not there anymore. So like any changes that happen are not going to help me in my mission to make things smooth or make my life better. It's not going to help me directly. Um, but when I was there, this person was a point of frustration because he would get away with a lot more than most of us were able to, and that was not fair. It was sort of like one of those things where he can get away with it, but you can't, and it's just sort of boiled up. And his attitude really of being like, I won't do this, but I will only do a little bit of that. Like he got to dictate what he would and wouldn't do, and I found that to be offensive. Like I found that to be frustrating. Um, and rude. And so when I saw him today, I was fake nice to him, but whatever. Um, and so that was it. I mean, I've been biking to work to and from every day. I've been watching what I've been eating. I can't say that Friday and yesterday were good examples of that, and even this morning, which is Sunday, were good examples of that. But I'm on the road, and I'm doing what I can to get to that healthy point in my quest. So I'm getting there, and that's the important thing right now. So right now I'm doing the things that need to be done, and that's where I am right now. So I'm hoping to continue, and hopefully soon there'll be noticeable changes, not just like digestive and feeling better and those type of things, which are very important, but maybe there'll be noticeable changes and my clothing will fit a lot better, maybe become a little big, and my face will get thinner, and my body will become naturally more toned because I'm doing a lot of cardio, but not like tone. um Maybe, I mean, it's not been that long, but I mean, I'm older, so I know that the timeline for me to have those dramatic things happen is a lot short. It's a lot longer to do, and you have to be a lot more patient and do a lot more than just like get on elliptical and whatever. Your metabolism's not the same, so I have to remember that. But it's a marathon, not a sprint, and so that's where I am right now. So I'll be in touch. But thank you for listening. If you're watching, if you have any suggestions for me to do things a different way or how to handle different situations, please let me know. Again, I'm doing this for myself, but I love to hear if anybody's out there struggling with the same things that I am, to tell me what they found to be helpful, because it might help me. So thanks a lot.